Thank you to Sour Sweet Cube 20 for their generous donation on Patreon. If you'd like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description. Hello everyone, and welcome back to All of the Above. My name is Vivian, and normally I would also say, and you would hear Caleb's voice, but unfortunately he's not here with us today. He is just unavailable. He said due to personal reasons, some shit came up. And I understand that, especially this week, I can understand the power of shit coming up because, that sounds like I'm about to fucking transition into a toilet story or something, but I'm not. I am not, for a change. I'm not going to be talking about my bowel movements on this particular episode, at least I don't intend to. But no, a lot of shit happened to me this week that nearly prevented this program from taking place for me alone. Of course, if I hadn't been able to, Caleb would have been unable to anyway, and so it would have just been a full cancellation, but this time it's just going to be a solo show. So hopefully it won't take too long. I also have a very lopsided news sandwich. Unfortunately, I couldn't get an even spread this time around. I could have if I wanted to stretch it, but I didn't want to stretch it. And fortunately, it's lopsided in favor of the good news. So, yay! That's a welcome fuck change, ain't it? But we'll get all to that in just a moment. I wanted to talk about what the fuck happened this week. It is taking up a slot in the bad part of the news sandwich, but I gotta fucking... It is a story in and of itself. So, let's just get right the fuck into it. So, I guess before that, I should do the social media shit. Follow me on Twitter. I say and do shit on there that never makes it to YouTube. Also, I have an Instagram that I barely ever use, and a TikTok that I don't take seriously at all, but I do make some stuff on there. So, links to all those is in the description down below. So check those out at your will. Also, Patreon is a thing as well, I guess. So, now, let's get into the actual fucking story. So, the thing that happened... Oh, goodness. My throat just tried to fucking... My throat just tried to fucking have a coup. I had my first therapy appointment in a long fuck time on Monday. I'm recording this after all of it has calmed down, fortunately. But on Monday, I had a therapy appointment. And I haven't had a therapy appointment in like 4 years. I've needed it, but I haven't had it. And now that I'm on Medicaid, I can go to a clinic. I found a good counselor. They call it a counseling visit. And actually, it went really well. We basically just did the introductory, like, do you have symptoms of depression? Yes. How often do you have symptoms of depression? All the fuck time. Oh, that's bad. Well, we'll talk about that more in the future. Do you have any symptoms of fucking care disease? Well, yes. And anyway, so yeah, no, she was really good, my therapist. She's very friendly. We're both kind of chatterboxy, but she did say that because her therapy appointments are limited to 30 minutes, which is annoying, that when it comes to those actual visits, she's very good at getting down to business, like getting straight into what's going on, how do you feel, what do you think about this, and boo, getting on with it, which is good because, as evidenced by the fact that I can do a solo podcast for hours at a time, I am a bit of a fucking yammerer. I yammer a lot. I'm a fucking yammerer. So, the appointment goes well. Very promising start. I'm excited. And we're about to leave, and she's talking to me about a Jim Gaffigan bit about how he's addressing some of the coverage of COVID-19, the new normal bit. She's in the middle of explaining that, and I look at my phone to check the time or whatever, and I see a message on it that says, like, imminent danger, severe tornado warning, take shelter now. Usually would get like a sound notification with that, but I didn't. And my doctor, and when I pointed it out, my doctor checked her phone, and she had it too. And we were like, what the fuck? Now, the important thing to note here is that Oh, Bree's in the fucking living room. What's up, Bree? You want to say hi? You want to come say hi?
I want to sit down and talk about this tornado.
Okay. Bring the chair or whatever. Swing around. Special guest, Bree.
I'll probably just sit in my red chair across.
Well, it's hard to hear you all the way over there.
Shit.
Technical difficulties, folks. She doesn't know how to work a chair. You're just going to have to close the door behind you or get the other chair. But just close the fucking door. It's fine. We just worked so fucking hard to get air conditioning back, and you don't need it. All right, so you can pick it up and bring it over.
It's so much work.
It's a piece of balsa wood. It ain't fucking... Jesus Christ, the fucking work I'm dealing with here. This is the effort that's being put forth. All right, bring it on in. She's got a kitchen chair, very much like the one I used to use when recording, but then I broke it because I am huge. All right, here she comes. Could you not knock my shit over?
No, it's too small, motherfucker.
It's not too small. You just don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't fucking act like you pay attention. Yeah, fuck yeah. Messed up my makeup and my ibuprofen. I'll fucking...
Good.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't know.
Just whatever. I'll fucking fix it. I'll fix your fucking messes like always. So, hi. Could you not put pressure on my back, please? I appreciate that. So,
You don't do videos for these?
No, it's a podcast. What do you think? You've been doing the doodles for these for so long, you've never looked?
I guess I haven't really paid attention.
Well,
I've put them on
alarming.
in the background, but I've never done it to where I can watch the video. I thought it was always like you and Caleb on video.
No, that would make it even harder to fucking edit.
Oh, okay.
No, the video of the podcast is just your doodle, the thumbnail, basically, the entire time. It's just an audio experience for me.
Nice.
Yes. But anyway, so while I was at my appointment, where were you?
Sleeping.
You were asleep.
Trying to take a nap.
You were taking a nap here at home. You went to bed like as I was leaving. Mm-hmm. So you were asleep. Dogs in the living room. Describe what it was like for you finding out what happened.
So of course, took a nap.
Yeah.
Because I was working hard.
Mm-hmm.
And woke up to the sound of Spoof hacking up. And I was like, oh, Jesus, he got into something.
Yeah.
And then I noticed it was very dark outside. And I was like, oh, shit. How long of a nap did I take? Not a big surprise if I slept until 7, but also, where the fuck was you if it was 7? And I was ready to dismiss all of this and still go back to sleep. Except that Spoof started, well, 1, hacking up a second time, and 2, he was barking. So I was like, okay, something's a little fucked up.
Yeah, it's the pets. Oh, the pets always know.
Yeah. So, Spoof is apparently a nervous vomiter.
Mm-hmm.
So I got up, and yeah, it was like 4, and I was like, why the fuck is it so dark? And then, of course, I look at my phone, and it was like, tornado warning.
Mm-hmm.
Take shelter right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh!
And we don't have a basement in this house. It's built on one cement slab, and that's it.
We have a little teeny tiny house, and only one of the rooms has no windows.
Mm-hmm. And that's the bathroom.
Unless you want to hork down in a tiny closet. But,
yeah.
So I get up, and I'm like, well, how fucking close is it?
You gotta face the microphone. Have you never done this before? Jesus.
No.
Well, imagine you're on the phone at work, and that's the fucking receiver.
Is there speakerphone?
I mean, kind of with this.
Oh, Mr. Johnson, please tell me your medications. Can you turn down your TV, please?
Can you get off me?
No. Sorry. But so I went to go check how close it is. And everything was like light in the front of the house. So I was like, okay, I have a little bit of time. And that's when you called me and you were like, Hi! How are you?
Yeah, because as soon as I found out and we got shuffled into the fucking middle hallway of the clinic, I was on my phone already checking the notification, and I called you immediately because I was like, "Fuck, she is home alone, and you're terrified of the storms."
And you knew I was napping.
Yeah.
And you didn't get a fucking sound alert, neither did I.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the dog, fuck, dude.
Well, I would have just called you. You would have just woken up to the call.
Yeah, but still, that would have been even less time.
Yeah,
but
true.
Regardless, so you call me, hey, how you doing? There's a fucking tornado coming, so you and Spoof get hunkered down into the bathroom, please, and take the most valuable things with you. So I'm like, cool, most valuable things, laptops, chargers, phones, wallets, that kind of stuff. And as I'm going to get the laptops at like the back of the house, it's just dark. I open up the office door and it's fucking midnight in here, and I'm like, oh god. So I open up the blinds to look, and there it is. Mm-hmm. There it is. So I was like, okay. So I just took the purse and the dog, slammed us all into the bathroom, closed the door, locked it, and then was trying to talk to you desperately because I was freaking the fuck out.
Now, is the electricity still on at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, so you still... The signal was shit because we were trying to message and then trying to text, and nothing was getting through. I was sending you messages, you're sending me messages, nothing's getting through.
You were trying to send me the fucking weather alert. I could not get the weather alert to work, which freaks me out more because, okay, that's probably something we should have picked up from Walmart. Get one of those like radio powered weather alert.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Gammy had one of those, and they're pretty fucking obnoxious, but they are good to have in a pinch.
Yeah.
But at least it would have helped me feel better at the time, having something. But I couldn't talk to you. I couldn't get anything to work. And then it passed by right behind our house. Good old 80 miles per hour. Started creaking in our roof and pulling at our windows and wiggling a whole bunch of shit.
God.
I heard a whole bunch of metal clanging, and I thought it was our fucking car. And I thought I was like, son of a bitch, I hope liability covers storm damage. I still don't know if it does.
Yeah.
But I was just fucking panicking in there, and it didn't help that Spoof was also panicking.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I'm internally panicking, but outside, I'm like, bud, we're good. Everything's fine. Mm-hmm. I love you. Sit, stay, good boy.
Please stop biting me.
Yeah. He wasn't biting. He was like shivering and like really close right in between my legs. And every once in a while he'd get restless and he'd turn or he'd pace in the bathroom, which is a whole foot to pace.
We have a very small bathroom and it's on the corner of the house. It was an add-on.
Yeah.
So it's not the most stable place.
Yeah, but it's the only place with no windows.
Yeah, like literally if we wanted to go to the center of the house, it would be the closets, but like they're held open by plastic sliding doors. Like and they're both right next to windows. So yeah, no, the best
answer is that there's no safe place for us really.
The safest would be the bathroom, but it's not safe.
Yeah. But so he was pacing and then he horked up because again, nervous vomiter, poor buddy. And he horked up twice. So I was like, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The lights cut off maybe after we were 5 to 8 minutes in the bathroom. Oof. They started flickering really bad. And I was like, this is when the storm sounded really close. And I was like, okay, power's maybe gonna stay on if we're lucky. And that's basically when you were saying like, oh, we're going through the lower shelf or whatever. And I was like, I texted you like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. What I was trying to say is that it looked thin. It was a thin line. And so it would pass over us really quick. And it showed up really quick because when I was driving to my therapist appointment, sunny skies, nary a cloud in it. Mm-hmm. No wind. It was fine. But the night before jumbled all this.
Yeah.
When we went to take the dog out Sunday, the day before all this mess, it was warm and the atmospheric pressure was so huge. Like, it felt like someone was pushing on you.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And so I even remarked to you, like, we're going to have a hell of a night. And you said, like, what the fuck did you say?
I was like, we gonna get a tornado.
Yeah, you joked that we were going to get a tornado, and we did.
Yeah, we fucking did.
Anyway, back to when the power went out.
So the lights were flickering, and I was still trying to talk to you. I couldn't get anything to work. Boy had not horked up by this point yet. That happened after the power was completely out.
Lovely.
But, yeah, so it was when I heard it literally right behind us where it was like, boom, darkness. And I'm like, this is it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. At this point, I'm in a fucking hallway somewhere. I can't communicate with you. I know it's right there because all that's getting through is like, it's here.
Yeah.
Like...
ominous ass text.
Yeah, and I'm like sending you, I love you, I'm sorry. Like, and my therapist is in the hallway with me, and every once in a while she'd come over and be like, so, how you doing? I'd be like, what the fuck do you think?
My wife is dead!
Yeah, and oh my, it was so bad. We were not allowed to leave. I asked my therapist, I was like, if I tried to leave, would there be a physical attempt to stop me from leaving the building? And she said, I would try to stop you from leaving the building. I said, well, I don't want to hurt you. You were nice. Yeah. So I'm going to stay.
Or not even hurt. You said you didn't want to trouble her.
Yeah, I didn't want to bother her because I could easily overpower her if I had to.
Oh, yeah.
And there was the will in me be like, I need to get to my wife, which is a pretty fucking big power. Yeah. But logic hit me really quickly, which is, one, if I go driving out into this thing, no one's going to be happy with me no matter what happens. If I get home to you safely, you'll be pissed that I tried that shit. If I don't get home safely, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And two,
I wanted you to stay there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know.
But the second thing is, what the fuck would me being here have changed?
Nothing.
Other than both of us would have died if that had happened.
Also, the boy probably would have horked up on your feet because there was nowhere else to be.
Exactly. Like, I couldn't have stopped the tornado or something.
Right. Hey!
Yeah. You get out of here, you sumbitch!
Get off of my lawn!
Yeah, like...
I got an anti-tornado gun.
It would have been for moral support at best, but I was able to provide that, like, 10 minutes later.
Yeah. Because
pretty soon after it passed, like I said, it was only it was a long fucking swath, but it was skinny.
Yeah.
So it passed over in what would you say, like 10, 20 minutes?
It was more like 30 for us. But okay. I think that's because it was just so fucking close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could hear it fucking whipping around. It felt like it was right in the alleyway. I know it wasn't that close because we would have been fucking obliterated. But,
I mean, it's so tight. There's a lot of walls there, so it's just a lot of fucking wind bouncing off of shit. Yeah. And you're right against the side of the house.
Exactly. So, the way that I was calming, myself, was just by, like, texting you every fucking thought I had in my head. Every funny one, every sad one, every scared one, all of it.
And I wasn't getting any of them.
No. And I knew you wouldn't, so at this point I was like, well, I'm just gonna fucking log my experience through this thing and my thoughts.
I had the same thought. I actually started to record a video diary entry in the fucking hallway.
Yeah. Do you have that on here? Are you going to put it in here?
Well, no. I got like a minute in before my therapist came in and was like, all right, you're free to go.
Oh, okay.
So, it wouldn't be anything to show.
I was literally doing a minute countdown. I'm like, okay, we've been in here for like 20 minutes. 10 more minutes and then the fucking warning's over. Okay, I'm hearing this, and this. We have 9 minutes to go. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. It sounds like it's going away. We got 8 minutes to go. Like, that's how I was taking care of it, and I was like, God, especially when I heard it, like the roof squeaking and that fucking metal thing just like clanging.
The
for
metal
dear
thing
life.
is we have a metal awning above the kitchen window, and it is rickety and old and not very well put
And
together.
one fuck of a tornado hazard, man. The thing would just rip right off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scared the shit out of me. I was like, holy fucking shit, I might actually get like severely hurt and or dead. But as it started to go away, I was just like, oh, okay, we're good, we're fine. I've overreacted.
Well, see, that's the dangerous thing is when it sounds like it's going away, you could be in the eye of it.
True.
That's the scary fucking thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who will think that they're done, go outside, and they're in it.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
But
Even if you think you're done, stay in shelter until it is long past, which you did not do.
I did.
How long did you stay in the bathroom until, like, when it had died down?
I waited long after it had died down until the warning completely subsided.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, me and Spoof were huddled and I was hearing only like little rushes of rain after all of this, and I was like, I think it's safe, but we still got like 5 minutes until this warning's let out.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stay here because I'm scared to look. Again, kind of the eye thing where it's like, if I fucking open up my door and suddenly it blasts my fucking windows out, that's gonna suck. So,
then our whole living room is like peppered with windows. So
I waited until the warning was completely over, and then a little bit more just to kind of hear what was going on, and then I took Spoof gently by the collar to, keep him from rushing out the door because he wanted out really bad. And I just cracked the door enough, and I saw that it was really light outside around the house, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in the eye.
I was like, okay, we're probably out of it. I'm gonna go assess the damages, see if I can get, the weather app up again, see if we're out of it, try to talk to you because you probably knew more than I did. But overall, be really fucking cautious and be ready to slam ourselves back in there again in case there was a second one or some other kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's when I was starting to send you pictures of the damages, which was like all the felled fucking branches. I did not go outside. I didn't go anywhere near outside. Yeah. I was terrified to do so, honestly.
Justifyingly so.
Yeah. So, I don't think I went outside the rest of that day. Except for maybe like 2 a.m. to let the dog out.
Yeah, the time we went out and it was fully night and there were no lights in the neighborhood. We went outside for that, but it was like, it was like 1 a.m.
Yeah, it was gone past coming back.
There was barely a gentle breeze, but getting back to the timeline of it, so it clears up enough. You start to venture out. I get the go-ahead to drive home. Now, it was still storming a bit near us, but it was not a hazard enough. It was just like, oh, you're driving in the rain.
Yeah.
And so as I'm heading to my car, I get like 70 text messages from you all at once.
Yeah, they finally sent through.
And they all are like the diary of a dead person. And I didn't sit there and like, oh, let me read all these. I'm just like, oh God. So I just hop in the car.
Just like not reading, probably thinking, she's texted me that she's currently bleeding to death.
Yeah, because they were all short messages. They came in like short bursts of speech broken up by gasps of breath.
That's how I think.
Yeah.
Honestly. I just think like rapid bullets.
And so I get in the car. I don't even plug in my phone to like listen to music. I'm in silence driving home. And I get home and you're sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yeah.
I did see in the front yard there were branches down, tied up in the dog run. Our trash cans were down at the end of the curb and they were gone.
Funnily enough, something else that I noticed that I did not bring up, but I did tell Courtney
what?
Was that because you had told me over and over, don't park so close to the porch, because sometimes when I was really tired, I was parking practically on the porch.
Yeah.
So I would leave plenty of space to where, like, I could see the end of the driveway when I parked.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I looked at the car again after I had put the branches, the car had been pushed up to the end of the gravel.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and I was like, oh!
Oh.
So I was like, but the car was fine.
Oh yeah, car's
Nothing
totally
happened
cool.
to the car. It just got scooted up a little bit, but that still scared the shit out of me afterwards.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is fucked.
I figured you didn't pick up on it, but I was like, all right. Nothing happened to it. It wasn't under, any of the big trees.
Yeah.
Kind of more of a godsend that it scooted it away from the trees.
Yeah, because the tree's kind of like middle of the yard. And
thanks there, J-boy.
the metal clanging you heard was our neighbor Bill. His grill got fucked up.
Bill's grill
tipped over and like split in half. And he has one grill that I think is his landlord's. It's up against the house. And then he has his grill. Both of them fell over and got McFucked up. They're fine. He fixed them, but they were all fucked up. But like the plastic water bottles next to them didn't move.
Yeah, just like when I went out there. Thankfully, we don't have a whole lot of shit, honestly.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the fact that the garbage cans were on the curb to be picked up, I think if we had kept them tucked next to the house, they wouldn't have moved either.
Oh, definitely, because fucking Spoof's Frisbee was on our grill, which didn't move. That Frisbee, aerodynamic Frisbee, moved from the grill to the ground right next to the grill. That was it.
I was like, that was what surprised me. I'm like, the Frisbee! The air toy did not. Oh, it was upside down, so you know.
Yeah. I had to go out and find our bins. I got home, saw you were okay, put the stuff down, went back outside.
I did not want you to go outside and find those bins.
Yeah, you vocalized that when I got back.
Yeah.
But I went out and I got our recycling bin, I think, and what turned out to be our neighbor's trash can. Later on in the day, I would find our real trash can like way down, past the intersection.
I was also just laughing because you're like, okay, I'm gonna go collect the trash cans, and before I could even be like, maybe don't, like you had already gone, and then midway as you were walking down the driveway, I just heard you be like, oh, holy shit! Like,
yeah,
I think you saw Bill's grill.
Yeah, well, I saw Bill's grill going in. It was the branches.
Oh, okay.
It was a big fucking branch down.
And I was like,
ah! Oh man. But no, went out, got some of the bins, came back, and we were without power.
Yep. For a good, what, like
36
hours?
Yeah, 36 hours we were out of power.
A whole day and a half.
Yeah, that's what 36 hours is. And we exhausted the Switch Lite. That battery did not last very long.
I mean, granted, I had already played the shit out of it and didn't charge it responsibly in the first place.
Never fucking charged the fucking
never fucking charged it.
God damn it. But no, yeah, we exhausted that. We made mac and cheese because we have a gas grill, gas stove.
Thank God.
We have what else did we do? We did
board games.
Yeah, we played Monopoly. We got the 80th anniversary Marvel Comics Monopoly.
Mm-hmm. And you had a meltdown over the game, and then ultimately I lost.
Yeah, I get excited playing Monopoly, but it's fun. I wasn't actually mad. It was fun.
The fucking matriarchy's against me.
Okay, you just saying that makes me sound bad. I don't even remember the context, but...
The context was, I got a card, because this was right after I had gotten, like, the $900 pot.
Oh, yeah, you got fucking...
And then I drew a chance card, and it was like, T'Challa is in space, so the women of Wakanda choose you as your new leader, collect $200 extra dollars. And you were like, no, the fucking matriarchy is against me.
Fuck.
It was so funny.
Yeah. Oh, man. And it's summer.
Yeah.
The heat was worse the second day.
Considerably worse.
The thing, like...
And that's not to say it was comfortable the first one.
No, it wasn't.
Because, like, even I had to try to sleep without a blanket.
Yeah, and you're anemic, for context. I slept without one, and I usually can't fucking do that. But only after a night of no blanket was I able to put one on, like, sort of the beginning of, like, the end of sleep, and then it was just too fucking much the next day. But we started a tradition.
Yep.
You have Max Brooks's book, The Zombie Survival Guide.
Yeah. And
I want to ask you politely, zombies freak me out. I like the book. Can we pick a different book?
No, we gotta finish this one first.
Oh, fuck, man.
We gotta finish it.
It freaks me out. Oh, God. But no, yeah, we took turns reading a book to each other. We have a little, like, electric lamp, fortunately, so we had light to read by, but...
We just put it in the windowsill, and then we took turns reading to each other, which was nice.
It was really nice. And eventually we went to bed. When we got up the next day, I woke up at like 9 a.m. and then like tried to fucking stay asleep but couldn't. The heat was heating up, and there was like no breeze, ironically. So like even when we opened the kitchen window, which is the only window in the house that has a fucking screen on it,
it was just hot.
It was just fucking hot, and we.
I remember when I went in, I was like, "Oh, the fans!" And we were like, "Oh, right, yeah, the fans." You know, built into our fucking our AC system. We don't have heat. Don't have cool. We just have the furnace.
We have central heating, and it's set up to have central cooling, but they didn't put an AC in there.
Yeah. But we have the fans that, circulate air all through the house. So we were like, oh, we have the window
Don't
open.
we us, you.
You were excited because you were like, oh, God, yes, fans. And then I went over there and I turned on the fan and nothing happened. And I was like, wait, there's no electricity. I'm a fucking idiot.
I hope you didn't blow the fucking fuse again.
Oh, no.
Those fuckers pop like popcorn. But
it's only when you put it to cool, it fucks up. Putting it to fan is fine.
When we got up the next day, we went to the store because we didn't have we shouldn't have been, but Little Miss doesn't listen to a goddamn thing I say over here. Decided to open the fridge 2,000 or 3,000 times.
Hey, it worked out pretty okay.
No, it didn't. We don't know that.
It worked out pretty fine.
We don't know that.
We do.
No, we don't. We haven't actually checked any of the shit in there.
Yeah, we have.
We checked some of the perishables, and like the milk we had to get rid of. We had to get rid of some leftovers. We didn't do that until the power came back, but we'll get back to that. But no, we got up, and we needed to go to the store to get some non-perishables because the ComEd outage map was saying that we wouldn't have power until Saturday.
Yeah,
the 15th. For the record,
at 3 p.m.
Yeah, for the record, this is the 12th. So obviously something changed, and we'll get to that. But so we're like, we got a plan. We're getting some cabinet safe jelly and jam. So we got peanut butter. We're gonna make some fucking sandwiches. And we could cook something as long as we didn't use the fridge. Well, you still did do that, but
just because I went to get cabinet safe butter and then I forgot the cabinet safe butter.
So we had to open the fridge to use our margarine.
Used margarine.
And it was a little melty, but
just a little bit, but pretty well preserved.
But we went to the store, and we fucked up. Yeah, we fucked up.
First, we got 900 oranges.
Well, yeah.
And then we got 700 donuts.
Yeah, we loaded up on comfort food. And then I ate, like, none of it. I ate, like, a muffin and a small donut, and that was it. Yeah. But I still ate... You cooked brats and buns, and I ate fucking 5 of those.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my diet... The fact that in the year of our Lord 2020, I am trying to cling to a diet even poorly is a fucking miracle. So, yeah,
Meanwhile, even today when you go in there, I had the whole fucking donut spread out, and I'm just like, "Hi! Get me a rag, because I'm covered in the zest of 1,000 oranges."
We bought a power bank.
Yeah.
This power bank was said to have 92 hours of fucking power, and we were charging it in the car. Yeah. We went and got gas.
We were trying to take our sweet-ass time getting home.
Yeah, and we exhausted your work laptop, and we're working on exhausting your personal laptop to charge our phones and that power thing, which was charging at the fucking rate of a snail.
Yeah. And was becoming heavier and heavier like a brick.
But we got back home. We had the food, which, hindsight, cooking in an enclosed house with no air conditioning in the summer, maybe not the best move. Oh, here comes a sneeze. Oh, there it is. So yeah, grilling the sausage probably wasn't the best move, but
totally heated up the house, totally.
Yeah.
Sausages.
Oh yeah, it was fucking great. So we ate it, but that night we were really stretching for like stuff to do. We talked a lot, but
I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna dick around on my phone, or like I'm gonna talk to people. So that's what I was doing. And then you fell asleep.
Yeah, my strategy to beat the heat was to basically ignore it.
Yeah.
Don't move. Just lay your head back and act like everything's fine. For context.
I was like, are you going to sleep? And you were like, no, I'm just getting comfortable. And I was like, okay.
And then I fell asleep.
You fell asleep.
We forgot an important part of the story. So throughout the day, I would go outside to talk to our neighbor, Bill, because it was cooler outside and he likes sitting out there. Bill is a cancer patient. He's recovering really well, but he's skin and fucking bones, this poor dude.
He wasn't too much to begin with when we first met him.
Yeah, he lost like 30 pounds on top of it in like a week.
Yeah. Hardcore, man.
He lives with his granddaughter, BriAnna, which is hilarious because that's the only other person I've ever met that is BriAnna. BriAnna.
Yep, she has my exact same name and my exact same nicknames.
Yeah, Breezy. It's fucking crazy. So I went over there and we were talking, and Bill's Bree, which is what I call her at this point, she is visiting someone in Wisconsin. She's not here, but when she finds out that her fucking grandpa is at home alone,
and with no power,
she took action.
Oh yeah.
She contacted ComEd, which is our electrical company.
She was like, give me a fucking person.
Yeah, she worked her way through that waiting list that I gave up on right quick.
Yeah.
And verified with them that Bill is a cancer patient and got the techs moved up. We got to prioritize on that. There's 2 waves of techs. And so this first wave, apparently like 20 minutes after Bill got a call from Bill Bree about what she did, the techs showed up.
Yep.
And they got in our alleyway. What had happened is about 3 or 4 houses down from us, a neighbor has a tree in their yard and a trampoline in the yard right next to the power grid. Pretty sure that's not up to code, but who the fuck's checking?
Not Illinois.
Yeah.
The land of the free, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. And so the trampoline got tangled in the tree, which knocked down into the power line, which is what fucked up our thing, which actually lends credence to the idea that it might have been in the alley.
Also, by the way, fucking nail down your trampolines, man.
Yeah, seriously.
I was even
just for your kids' safety.
Yeah, because
those things can tip.
Yeah, those things can tip. They can wiggle. Like it can be kind of unsafe if you don't really cement them down. Most of the people that I know that had like real designated trampolines for them kids, they literally did dig little holes and put like quick cement in it and let it sit.
That's a bit much, but
it's a little much, but it made sure
better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean it was also up here, so they're probably more like we got a big ass trampoline and we got extreme weather.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, nail down your shit. And even when we were talking about getting patio furniture, I'm like, we're gonna have to nail it down.
Yeah, oh yeah. So the techs showed up, and me and Bill went over and talked to one of them, and they told us, because we're like, oh fuck, they're here. We're gonna have power tonight. And so we're like, what's going on? What's the sitch? He explains to us what happened, and we asked, so when are we getting power? And he said, well, good news and bad news. You will be ready to get power really quick.
In a minute.
But that wave of techs was not allowed to access the actual thing to turn on the power.
The little ComEd switch.
Only ComEd techs were allowed to do that. Because this was the repair team. Yeah. Not the actual electric team. Even though they could have, they weren't allowed to. And so, pretty soon after that, those guys left. They got everything done.
There were like 8 trucks.
Yeah, it was nuts. And we don't.
The actual number is probably like 4, but
yeah.
we have
we have a very small alleyway, and they were in there around the corner. And so I was pissed, and I wanted to say something on Twitter about it, but I was like, we don't want to bother them. It's just some poor fucking social media manager. But what happened was, after dark, I finally decided to put out a tweet about it.
Because it was extra hot and miserable night.
Yeah. And it was something like, hey, ComEd, at ComEd, can you come out and, I explained the situation, can you come out and do the last 1% of the fucking job so that me and my cancer patient neighbor don't have to sit in the dark at night again?
With no fucking air conditioning.
And they told me to DM them to explain the situation. I did. It was a bit of a back and forth, and they
you immediately got a robot response.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? And then someone
just told me to DM you.
And then a real person was like, sorry, that was an automatic thing.
Yeah,
but
funny.
Like 2 or 3 hours later, after they told me that we were getting prioritized and then gave me no indication that that was the case, 3 hours later, power kicks on.
You had just woken up from your little sleep nap, and I was like, oh, are you up now? And you're like, I'd like to not be. And I'm like, okay. But I'm really freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'm in the dark alone with no one to talk to because Cord had went to bed.
Yeah.
And I was just like spiraling in my own head. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then you're like, okay, well, we'll do something. We'll talk. We'll play a game after I get up and go to the bathroom. You got out of the bathroom. Beep!
Yep. And it turned on.
Yeah.
And the AC kicked on. I closed the kitchen window. We fucking...
cried.
Oh my god, we were so fucking happy. And apparently Bill was outside. He was outside with Brownie.
Bill.
Because it's cooler out there.
I know.
Why the fuck would
like 3 a.m.
It was like 1 a.m.
No, it was 3.
Whatever the fuck it was. He was outside because it was cooler out there. So why the fuck would you sit inside? What are you going to do? Rewatch TV? So he was outside, and he was about to go inside to go to bed, and then the fucking light kicked on as he's walking up the stairs, and it fucking scared him.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine, poor Bill.
Speaking of poor Bill, when I came back from doing the groceries, he dropped his glasses, and he couldn't find them.
Oh, shit, did you help him?
Oh, yeah, I went over there. I was gonna, because his granddaughter helped speed up the process, she got the first wave of texts out here quick, I got the second wave of texts out here quick. I promised I'd buy her a pie. She likes French vanilla cream. All they had was like salted caramel chocolate fucking cream. So I brought that over, and he's like, I can't find my fucking glasses. I picked them off the ground. They were fine. But yeah, so that...
You're like, good news, I got this kind of pie. And
yeah.
He was like, she'll eat it.
Yeah, she'll eat it. But yeah, so the power came on. We relaxed for the rest of the night. Today I went and shopped for perishables. And now we're here.
We lucked out on the perishables. I mean, we lost a lot of leftovers, but half of them were bad already.
Yeah. I mean, that rice wouldn't have been, and I'm bitter that I didn't get any, but
yeah.
It's because I love Chinese food.
Yeah. But
that pizza was in there for a long time because I wasn't allowed to have it.
Yeah.
She hoards leftovers and then doesn't eat it.
Yep.
It's just like waving it in front of me like, you can't have it and I'm not going to eat it. And
I did not fucking do
That's
that.
what it feels like. because you tell me I can't have it and that you're maybe going to eat it, and then it goes bad and I could have had it, but you wouldn't let me, and it happens every time.
It doesn't happen every time. A good 3/4 of the time, you're like, can I have this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to fucking eat it. And then you're like, yeah!
It's gotten to that point. I dispute the number, but it's gotten better, but it used to be just not at all. Like, you'd fight me before you'd let me have Chinese food that had already expired. Like, it's... Fuck, but yeah, so...
But yeah, the worst we lost was, like, a couple of our cold cuts and, like, mayo.
Milk and mayo and ranch.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of the stuff, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be checking some of the stuff that had thawed and seeing if refreezing it helped at all. If not, then we just have bad shit. But we'll find out. If it gives me diarrhea, it's nothing different. I did mention my diarrhea in the podcast. God damn it. I told them I wouldn't, but I did. But yeah, so that's the story of how
this is a story all about how I almost died.
Yeah, it was bad and it stayed bad, but you know the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Grease. Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
You grease up your wheels.
Yes.
You put oil on the wheels.
You put
You're fucking dumb. But anyway, I
think the funniest part of this is just that I've always been terrified of tornadoes.
Yes.
It's practically genetic because my mother is also terrified of tornadoes.
Yeah.
There's also the whole social teaching response thing you can go into. I know, psychology. But anyway, the point is I've always been terrified of tornadoes, and I lived in Ottawa for a good chunk of my life.
Ottawa, Kansas, for the record.
Kansas. And the whole thing about Ottawa, Kansas is very rarely do tornadoes touch down in the city limits of Ottawa.
Yeah.
They'll come up right on the highway, but they'll usually dissipate and pass right over and touch down on the other side.
By very rarely, you mean like every 100 years.
Yeah. So the whole thing about Ottawa, Kansas, or at least the rumor, the folklore, is that because Ottawa named itself over the Ottawa Indians and Ottawa University, which the native children get to go to college completely for free there, the Ottawa Indians blessed the town of Ottawa, Kansas, so that severe weather would never harm it.
Yeah. You got to get better about saying Native Americans, dude.
Why? I did say...
You said Indians.
Did I say Indians?
You said Indians.
I swear to God I said...
You said natives that live there, but you referred to them as the Ottawa Indians.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. It's a learning process. We learn this shit. We got to do better. We're getting there.
Yeah. Point is, they blessed the ground so that, tornadoes don't bother it. And that has weirdly held true multiple times.
In the middle of Tornado Valley.
In the middle of Tornado Valley, the worst we've had is like super bursts, where like you get the winds, but no tornado actually touches down. Yeah. So it was funny, at least that's what Court was telling me. She was like, this whole, like your whole life, you're terrified of tornadoes, and then you move to Illinois and you immediately encounter like 2 of them.
Yeah.
Because there was one that was a lot less closer to us, like in town, a couple streets down, and then this one, which was scarily close.
Yeah, so it's... Yeah, fuck. But yeah, that's the story of all of that, and... But now is the process of... when we checked, when we went to bed, the neighbors like across the street still didn't have power. So we'll see how it all looks come tonight.
I'm hoping they do, because if my work has power...
Yeah. We would imagine so. We'll see what all happens. There's still a lot of people without power, but hopefully it'll all be better. But yeah, they've been working around the clock, and fortunately, we have a neighbor that has cancer, so we got it first.
Not fortunately, but
I mean, it's the only time I've ever felt fortunate for someone to have cancer, because we got prioritized treatment.
God, it's fucked up.
It's fucked up, but I told Bill about it, and he was like, yeah, if I'd have known this would work, I'd have told them sooner.
Bill is fucking hilarious. I love him so much. He's a great neighbor.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so it, but yeah, so that's the story of what fucking led up to this show.
this is
Because
the story.
you keep making that joke, and it keeps not being fucking funny.
To you,
Yeah.
dick.
Jeez.
Oh, the whole world is all about you. Is that it? Oh, welcome to the world of Vivian fucking Stevenson. Oh, I'm the fucking hero in my own novel. By the way, the novel sucks.
You're the only other character.
Yeah, I suck.
Also, don't think any of that, you fucking prick.
I know.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
So, yeah. Do you want to join me for the rest of it? Talking about recent events and stuff?
No, I still need to finish up the laundry.
Oh, okay.
And take care of some things. But it was nice talking about me nearly shitting myself.
Yeah.
And Spoof becoming a throw up fucking hose.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Take your chair with you.
No.
You fucking chair haver. So that...
Ah, my toe.
See what I mean about not paying attention to shit?
And to think I yell at the dog for the same thing.
Yell at me for the same thing, and I do pay attention to my surroundings. God damn it.
No one in this house pays attention to their surroundings.
Ah. Oh, you knocked some shit over again?
Yep.
How
Shouldn't
was
have
it?
been there.
You
That's a joke we haven't used in a while.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been there.
If you could prop open the door, get some fucking airflow in here. Yeah. So, that is the recap of the last 3 days.
I already know what doodle I'm gonna make.
Mm-hmm. Just leave the door fucking open. The chair being in the doorway is fine enough. Open the door more. Thank you. Now kindly off you fuck. Just fucking leave it. Christ. The fucking state of this. But anyway. My mom just texted me. What'd she say? She sent me a picture. Here's the tomatoes out front, getting to be like bushes. Yeah, she's growing tomatoes she's living with her folks right now. Shout out to my mom. God. Fuck. Anyway, so with that out of the way, I guess we can jump right into the news sandwich. The news sandwich that, like I said before, is a bit lopsided in favor of the good, surprisingly enough. I mean, I guess you could count that whole experience of being without power and the near-death experience and the storm as basically the rest of the bad leading into that. So if you want to count that there, it's evened out now. Mom, would... Oh, she's going to be sending me a picture of my cousin Marcus's baby daughter. And the picture hasn't sent in yet, so we'll see it later. Anyway, well, you won't, but anyway. So, let's start in on the news sandwich. For those who are uninitiated, the news sandwich is where generally me and Caleb, if he were here, would be discussing events that have happened in the past week or so, be it in our personal lives or in the world abroad. Generally, Caleb would go first because surprisingly, we have not had the same thing on our news sandwiches yet, and we don't run them by each other before we get on the air, so that's a very surprising thing. But, there's the picture. Let's see my cat. Aww. She looks scared. I don't blame her. You're out in public fucking transit during a pandemic. I hope she has a good life. Anyway, the news sandwich is where we start with something good, a piece of good news, again, be it personal or the world abroad. Then we go alternate between bad and good, but we always start and end with something good to start and end with something positive. There was a whole helping side serving of bad with the last 3 days, but fortunately in the news realm there is more good than bad. So let's start with good and we'll alternate until it's just good. So first thing on the list, New York Attorney General Letitia James files lawsuit attempting to dissolve the NRA. Now this is only good if you if you, like me, fucking despise the NRA, and or if you don't hate, like, even people who are for the Second Amendment rights and they're gun people, the lot of the charges leveled here, they're not like, oh, you're getting too heavily involved in politics and you're a private interest that's fucking with the will of the people, which I think should be a fucking crime, but it's alleging a lot of fraud and embezzlement and just terrible fucking practices, all of which should destroy this fucking organization. There you go. So I fucking hate the NRA. I'm more than happy to see them get fubbernucked. My only concern is that pretty much whenever you have a figurehead at the top of a chain, as soon as you chop off the head, like 3 more pop up. And so my big worry is that if the NRA does go down, then we'll get like 3 neo-NRAs that are way more radical than the NRA was. But hopefully not, because fuck them. And if you think that your right to own a gun is more important than the safety of our children, then you can go fuck yourself too. But going to the first bad. This is something that I only know about because I watched the Philip DeFranco show. There's a Georgia school punishing people for criticizing their COVID policies. They opened up. They have confirmed COVID cases and possibly more. A picture surfaced taken by a student that showed a crowded-ass hallway. Because of course it is. You fucking pack these schools with way too many goddamn students. Because it costs, there's like no funding for education in America. They can't just build more schools, even though they should. So there's no goddamn way social distancing is possible. Also, not a lot of people wearing masks. And the student that took the picture, along with others that were openly critical, got suspended for it. Because they were not allowed to openly criticize school policy about it. Stifling freedom of speech in order to try to make yourself look good ain't gonna fucking fly. So these students got interviewed about their suspension, about what was going on. There's a blind on my window. That is the wrong direction. It was pissing me off. And the recent developments on that is that the student suspensions got overturned, and they're going to be reviewing the policies to hopefully fix the shit, and for the time being, until they can reach a determination later on, either this week or early next week, all this learning went to virtual, which they should have fucking done in the first place. Because here's the thing, I very much agree that there is a necessary social component to people, to children and students being around their fellow students. And I do very much believe that it is much better to learn in person than online. However, the fucking risks are way too goddamn high to the students, to the staff, to the community at large. Because remember, folks, it's not just if you get it or if you give it to someone else. You can carry the disease asymptomatically and give it to other people unknowingly. So, people who did the proper thing, staying at home, doing whatever they can still get infected if you, as someone who does go out of the home, if you live with someone who's isolating, or even if that one person who's isolating goes to the store like once a month, if you're fucking around and you don't feel sick, so you're not taking proper precautions, not keeping social distancing, you need to social distance, wash your hands, sanitize yourself, be clean, be safe, stay at home unless absolutely fucking necessary. If you're not doing those things, you can still get people who are more vulnerable sick, even if they're doing their best. That's why we all have to work together to make this shit better. So yeah, I very much agree that if it was at all possible or within reason to open the schools again, we should, but we can't. It is too fucking risky. We shouldn't be having concerts. We shouldn't be having get-togethers. We shouldn't be having barbecues. We shouldn't have restaurants opening up. We shouldn't have any of this shit. And the reason we are experiencing such high levels of fucking COVID is not because we're testing too much, because that makes no fucking sense, but because we didn't take the shit fucking responsibly in the first place. And now it's all kinds of fucked because nobody is taking it seriously anymore. Every time I go outside, there's groups of people walking around, no masks. People are fighting to not have to wear masks in the store because they're too too much of a fucking bitch to realize that people are having to wear those things indoors for 8-hour shifts so you can fucking manage it for 20 goddamn minutes, Linda. Take a drink. Getting mad. So anyway. So yeah. Fuck the organization of this school and any other school that feels the need to open up even though you're risking the lives of kids. Also, fuck Betsy DeVos. Let's go to our second good. And I call this a good. I haven't heard any news about it and since the initial reporting, so I'm sorry if this is a little out of date. Jake Paul, his home got raided by the FBI. They were pulling out military-style weapons and alleging that there was an immense amount of criminal activity going on, not just including the fucking pandemic parties, which already should get him fucking sentenced for life. But yeah, Jake Paul got raided by the FBI. It was a nutso-futso situation, and I need to know more about it in terms of if there's been any recent developments. I would like to know. But the reason I'd like to know is because there was some crazy shit being alleged, and if it's true, then yeah, fuck him. If it's not true, then... Because that's the dangerous thing, right? Like, you're a public figure, people know where you live, swatting is a real thing, it happens to people, and I don't like Jake Paul. I think he's a scumbag piece of shit, but if he did nothing wrong and got raided... like swatted, that's still a problem, because swatting is such a terrible fucking thing to do to people. It's so fucking bad. But the fact that they were pulling military style weaponry out of the house indicates to me that there's a fucking problem here. These big ass mansions in the hills of Hollywood stockpiling military weapons, no, that's an indicator. That's a smoking gun, literally. So for the time being, there was allegations being made, action being taken, and a gotta be criminal level of shit being taken out of that house. There was also, I think, drugs involved. Yeah, if he's doing some terrible shit, fuck him, and I hope he gets sent away. But I want to know more about it in recent reporting, because I haven't heard anything about it since that initial report. Second bad, very less significant, but still a bad thing. I was seeing ads on Facebook for a show I didn't know existed called Star Trek The Lower Levels, or some shit was, yeah, the Lower Decks, sorry. And it is an animated show, and it looks kind of Cal Art style, very simple lines, flat colors. Some people say it's kind of like Rick and Morty, I don't know, but god damn it, do I miss the 2D animation style of like classic Pixar, not Pixar, because I don't think, did they do 2D? I don't know, but classic Disney and DreamWorks, because there's real like shading and real detailed art, but just these smooth lines and flat colors just don't impress me. They just don't impress me. They all look similar. But I saw this, and it looked possibly interesting, because Star Trek has a very unique lore, because there's the capacity to tell very serious, very compelling stories, but also the capacity for a lot of fun, because space is vast, and you can tell a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of fun stuff, some silly stuff. But what I experienced, I looked in the comments, because I saw there were a lot of angry reactions to it. I'm like, why is there an angriness? And I saw so many fucking assholes just being like, nope, I'm not watching this. Why can't they just stick to the Roddenberry formula? Why do they have to keep making it a Rick and Morty ripoff? This looks like shit. I don't blah, blah, blah. And they're just going off on how it's not another thing. Look, if you're a fan of something, totally reasonable. You can have your fandom. You can enjoy what you enjoy. But you don't need to gatekeep and prop up the old stuff as if it's insurmountable. It's the best ever. Nothing else will ever be good because it's different from what this thing is. Everything that's ever been made is different than the thing that came before it. And the things that follow after the thing you like will always be different. So you can either die mad at the fact that things aren't always going to be the same, or you can let things be what they are. There are real people who really put a lot of fucking work into that show that you're just totally disrespecting and writing them off because they're not Gene Roddenberry and they're not fucking just rebroadcasting the Next Generation episodes. Like, fuck, man. Just let something be different. Let it be new. From all accounts, it's more of a comedy show. It's more lighthearted. And I would be interested in seeing it because the lore of Star Trek allows for so much of a complex and varying stories. It already has. There's like 7 different shows from Star Trek alone, and then there's plenty of movies, prequels and new ones related to the show, totally original. There's cartoons, like shit. There's so much you can do with the lore of Star Trek. Let new things be new things and stop being toxic. Just because you like something doesn't mean you need to shit on everything that isn't the thing you like. Maybe you'll like new things if you give them a try. At some point, you had to give the thing that you like a try, and it was new at the time, at least to you. You had to give that a try, and you liked it. You wouldn't have known you'd have liked it if you had never tried it. So try the other thing. If you don't like it, fine. But don't just shit on it because it isn't the Roddenberry formula. That's just such a shitty fucking criticism. If you want something to follow along in a series, it makes sense. You want something to be similar, be a thorough line, thematically or organizationally, even just aesthetically. There should be something connecting them all. I understand that. However, wanting it all to follow the same formula is so creatively stifling. My favorite science fiction show of all time is Doctor Who. And every Doctor has had a different formula. And when I say every Doctor, if you don't know about Doctor Who, you probably heard about it, but you don't know much about it. There's like a lot of different fucking people. What the fuck? Every few years, there's a new leading person in charge, like the new lead actor or actress now. And that is a new Doctor Who. It is the same character, but when they die, they regenerate into the body of a new person, but their life continues on. Every cell in their body dies and regenerates into a new one. So their life continues on, but in a different body, different personality, yada yada. Every time a new Doctor pops up, the show changes. There's a new theme, there's new places they're going, different personalities at play, different companions following the Doctor around. There's always new shit. And the reason the show has been able to be on the air off and on since 1963 is because of this reinvention. The show regenerates just as much as the lead character does. And if people were so fucking hell-bent on the show staying like it did under any of those iterations, then the show would not have survived like it has. And there are people who think that the show peaked with any of the Doctors, most popularly either Tom Baker or David Tennant. People who think that 2006 was the peak of Doctor Who, or 1974 was the peak of Doctor Who, or whatever the fuck. And maybe you're right. Maybe those were the better written episodes, the better acted episodes. But just because something was different doesn't mean they're necessarily bad. They're different, but they're the same show, just in a different way. Just let something be different. It's okay. It's okay. So, let's go back to number 3, good. Speaking of something new, last year, a original animation hit YouTube like a flaming sack of peaches. Has Been Hotel, produced by Vivzy Pop. A lot of controversy there. I don't know why. Apparently, a lot of people don't like Vivzy. I don't know anything about it. I don't know the validity of it. All I know is the project itself. Original artists, original concept, independent art, independent artists, independent voice actors, all working together to create something really cool, unique, and of its own. It wasn't on TV. It was just a pilot. It was a work in progress. What the fuck is happening out there? Oh, okay, there you go. It's like I just heard the fucking gates going nuts out there. But it was a pilot, so it was rough. There were production things that could have been different. If it had a studio budget, it could have been altered a bit, but it didn't. All it was an original animation piece made by indie artists of a variety of types. Hold on. No, I don't have the Rona. I've just been talking for a long time. And before this, I was singing in the car because I had to go to the store. But anyway, so there were things to rightfully criticize about it, and there were a lot of wrong things people tried to criticize about it that were totally just stupid. But the good news is that it did get picked up by a network. A24, I've never heard of them, but they got picked up. They're going to be working Has Been Hotel into a show made for TV. So, it worked. All these independent creators, independent artists, and voice actors are getting a TV show. And that is so fucking nice. Like, isn't it nice to not have some corporate fucking just pilot machine churning out the next show helmed by a fucking celebrity that has already done this shit and just needs to buy a 15th yacht. Now we get an independent creator team getting their chance at a fucking TV show for an original concept that is good and interesting and different, and I'm so fucking excited to see it. I don't know where you watch A24 at, but there are rumors that it might wind up on Netflix or even HBO Max, and I have access to both of those via family connections. Thank you, family. So we'll see where it goes. It's not going to happen for a while. You know, it's animation takes a while. You know, studio animation doesn't take as long as independent animation, but they're making more of it than just one episode. So hopefully, they're going to have to remake the original episode. Hopefully they stretch it out, pace it out a bit more, because I think that's what they wanted to introduce a lot in that first 20-minute pilot, which they kind of needed to do, but hopefully they completely remake it. Hopefully they're given a lot of creative freedom with it, and hopefully they have enough directorial oversight to be able to make to make a diamond out of this piece of coal. And coal is good. Coal, it doesn't hurt to be coal. Coal is good. Why am I defending coal? Like, the coal industry can go fuck itself, but the coal itself, like, you can use that as fuel. Whatever. The point is, it's good. I hope they make it great. There you go. I'm glad they have the opportunity. And I don't have another bad to go to after that, so we're just going right into the next good. A controversial good, and I don't like it. I don't like saying this, but President Fuckass made a slew of executive orders. Not a fan of those, but every once in a while they're necessary. He made an executive order, a lot of executive orders, but one of them guaranteed an additional $400 a week added to unemployment benefits. Now, this is a good thing. Is like, okay, someone I don't like does something that I like. I'll give them credit. I don't like him. I hate him. But I'll give him props when he does something useful. And this is useful because people on unemployment were facing eviction and not being able to fucking afford things. And yes, it is less than what it was. It'll be, for your payment every 2 weeks, you're going to have $400 less than you did before. But that's $400 more per week and $800 total more than you would have had if this didn't happen. So I'm glad for it. I'm on unemployment. A lot of other people are. So I'm glad that this happened because Congress, specifically the fucking Republicans, are not working together to fix this shit. They're more interested in scoring political points than saving the lives of their constituents. So, unfortunately, I have to give credit to the fucking president for signing an executive order that gave unemployment benefits for extra $400 every week. And I'm glad for that. A lot of those other executive orders need to go fuck themselves, and I guess that could be another bad. The executive order mandating that Americans and American companies not work with ByteDance and another Chinese company, I don't remember, but they have like a stake in a lot of video game companies. Either they stop working with them after a certain amount of days, or they have to sell That's illegal. That's fucked up. That needs to be. That's getting challenged, and I hope that ByteDance and the others win because this is fucking ridiculous. Trump is just pissed because TikTok fucks with him. It has there's no information going to China for American uses. It's not fucking true. It's a fucking witch hunt, and he knows about those because he likes that word. Anyway, next good. I went to the doctor on Saturday. And I got like 4 fucking referrals that I called people about today. Hopefully I get seen some specialists. There's a lot of tele appointments, like video chatting. Not the best, but it's better than nothing. A lot of my stuff is getting addressed. I got lab work done. They also set me up with a therapist. I mentioned that in the tornado story. And so, yeah, it was just a really productive thing. I had a long-ass list of things to be addressed. They got addressed, and we're working on fixing them. I got put on a new antidepressant, and eventually I'm going to be seeing a psychiatrist, whichever one does mental health medication. So hopefully I'll be able to get some more stuff along those lines. So, yeah, we're starting the process of getting me all fixed up, buddy. We're considering gastric bypass surgery. One of the referrals was to a surgeon. So there's a lot of stuff that is in the starting process here. So a lot of interesting stuff happening. Next good. Speaking of a doctor, my tied for number 1 favorite Doctor Who, we spoke of Doctor Who earlier, is the 9th Doctor, Christopher Eccleston. He's tied with the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, for my favorite Doctor. But Christopher Eccleston was there for 1 season, or series, for British TV shows. They're in series, not a season. And there was a lot of controversy about him leaving, and he refused to come back for the 50th anniversary, and there was just a lot of stuff, and I really clung to any hope that he would come back, but just gave up on Christopher Eccleston coming back. But he did! He's coming back for Big Finish. They're doing audio series with the 9th Doctor, the real one, not an impressionist. I'm so fucking happy. Because this opens the door that maybe he'll come back for, an anniversary or something. I don't know. But the fact that we're getting any Christopher Eccleston back is so good because the 9th Doctor is such a good fucking doctor. And Christopher Eccleston is such a good fucking actor. I'm just so happy that he's in a better place mental and physical health-wise because he was not doing well at that point in his life. And I'm just so glad that he's finally embracing the show and coming back. And I'm just so happy. But yes, so good. So happy. And the last good, I did not forget a review. Every week I do a review because I watch too much of the same shit over and over again. But every week I try to watch something new to present to you in a review to let you know whether I liked it or not. This week it is in the good because I liked it. Is the Disney movie, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I got this movie kind of set up on a pedestal for expectations for me, unfortunately. A lot of people spoke to me about, not to me, but in general, about this movie as if it was some subversive, set up expectations, twist ending. It's really in the mind. It's not. It's not. It's a pretty paint by numbers, but mature. And it's not. I say mature, like it takes itself seriously. It's not like they don't even swear. They say cuss. Really different stop motion animation style. It's funny. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's funny, and it's just a good children's film. Okay, it's an interesting film about confronting your nature as a person, or in their case, an animal, and not running away from who you are, but embracing who you are and using who you are to make life better for you and everyone else. Because, when you're doing something bad, you can try to change, but you can also just try to be who you are for good. And I think that's the overall message. And I'm really, it didn't, wow me. It didn't it didn't do what everyone was claiming it would do. It would be this subliminal fucking crazy, be in your head pondering it for weeks type movie. But as a kid's movie, which is what it is good. And I'm glad for it. I think it used the motif of animals better than Zootopia did. Because it actually used it. As opposed to just being a backdrop. So, there you go. Thank you all very much for watching this shorter episode of all of the above. Gotta go see if the stuff in the fridge and freezer survived being in there for 36 hours. Most of it didn't, but the frozen stuff specifically, gotta check. I got fish sticks in there, and they were a bit crumbly, but they're frozen again, so we'll see. We'll fucking see. If they're bad, they're going. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully next week Caleb will be back with us. But until next week, ladies and gentlemen, I am the trained unprofessional Vivian, because I used that name during this. Comment double-decker link everywhere else. And until next week, thank you all. Stay safe, everyone. Bye. Bye. Whatever. Fuck. I don't fucking know. Fuck. Fuckity. Fuck. Fuckity. Fuck. Fucking. Fuckity. Fucky. Wucky. Fuck. Fuck. Comment your favorite swear word in the comments down below to let me know you made it this far. Bye, everyone.